Welcome to the South African Excellence Model Self-Assessment Guide. As you would know by now after watching the introduction video, the Excellence Model is made up of 11 criteria, of which 6 are enablers and 5 results. Enablers counts 50%, start from our left-hand side, and working the way through to results on the right-hand side, also counting 50% of the score. What I will share with you in this guide is quickly the benefits of a self-assessment for an entrepreneur, the process of self-assessment, how to complete the self-assessment Excel questionnaire, the enabler criteria, the results criteria, how to handle them, submitting the completed self-assessment, and then naturally what happens after you submit it. Important here is to know that it's very beneficial for you to do, for any business to do a self-assessment, for any entrepreneur to do a self-assessment, because in the end, you're responsible for the performance of the whole business. If you look at this list here of what you can get from a self-assessment, I think it's important that you highlight from these which of these benefits are important to you and your business, because that will help you motivate yourself why you want to do this. Some of the benefits are it will link the activities of your business with achievements, your results. You will learn about your business's strengths and areas for improvement. You'll find out how far your business has progressed towards performance excellence. You'll be able to compare your business's performance with your own targets, and you will also be able to compare your business's performance with other businesses. You'll be able to set targets for continuous improvement in the priority areas, and you will be able to decide to focus resources on those improvement activities. Lastly, you will achieve a common sense of purpose and direction for everybody in the business. So the bottom line is a self-assessment result is that you will end up with a list of strengths and areas for improvement in your business, and you will receive a score that you can use to measure the improvement. So this is quantified. This is not just talk and information. It's quantified and it's measurable, and it gets measured against other businesses in best practice. We use a generic process, 7-step process of self-assessment. This is good, doesn't matter what methodology you use. First, important is your commitment. You need to be committed, otherwise this won't work. Then important, before you start the assessment, plan and prepare. So look at the assessment questions, work through the model, see what questions are asked, and then sit down with your people and gather the information. So commit yourself. What is your reasons? Who will be responsible for what in the business process? When do you start? When do you complete? This assessment needs to be completed on the 17th of May. When do you plan to tell your people and why you are going through a process of self-assessment and what will happen after it? So the third step is collect information from your personnel on where you are now for each of the criteria. Ask, what do we do about this criteria? How well do we do it, and what results are we achieving? It's also important to involve as many of your personnel as possible, because the reality is the person who does the job knows more about the job and the problems than anybody else. The benefit is you will get good information, and they will be more readily accept any changes that might be needed because they were involved. It's important to be completely objective with yourself, but do not undervalue your strengths and do not be overcritical about your performance. Step 4 is to identify the strengths and area for improvement. There's a space for you to do this at the bottom of each of the sheets. And there you summarize what you do well, in other words, your strengths, and what you can improve on. Step 5 is identify the priority opportunities for improvement. So once you've summarized it, this is when your management have to sit down and identify improvement opportunities. It is necessary to identify those that are most practical and most important for the business. So consider the following, make use of your strengths, 80-20 principle. Build on what you do well because it could create competitive advantage. Work on those areas of improvement that will have the most effect on business. And to identify those enablers will have the most impact on results in terms of what you want to achieve. Be prepared to challenge the way you do things. Ask your people for ideas and share your own ideas with them. It's important to be constructive and look ahead in this process. Do not expect a quick fix for anything, because here you are on a continuous performance improvement path. Step 6 is then to implement the action plans based on opportunities you've identified. It's important to communicate your results to your personnel, develop targets and plans for what you're going to improve, allocate the responsibility to individuals and set achievement targets and dates, decide what people, money, information, resources are needed for the implementation, set the dates for report back meetings, review the progress at each meeting, and important, make necessary changes to reach your targets. And then it begins all again. Do this regularly, at least annually. That way it becomes a culture of continuous improvement in the business. So if we talk about completing the self-assessment in Excel, it's important to know that this questionnaire is designed to help your business assess its level of performance excellence. The questions include each of the 11 criteria in the parts for you and your management team to answer. So you should also consider involving your personnel. I've already spoken about that. We know that these questions can never provide a complete picture of your business. However, they will start you on the business on a very exciting and challenging journey towards performance excellence. It's important to note the following. Each question will cover only one area to address. It is easy to use the questions. Just read one, write down what your business is doing for that item. Just remember that you need some proof or evidence of what you are doing. Depending on your progress in that particular area to address, put a 0, 1, 2, or 3 in the relevant of the 4 columns at the end of each question. 0 would stand for not started, 1, some progress, 2, good progress, 3, fully achieved. Then fill in your strengths and the area for improvement and areas for improvement in the space at the bottom of the sheet. Put the strengths and the areas of improvement in some order of importance for your business, so prioritize them. For example, use A for essential, B for important, C for desirable. So let's maybe just move on to the sheet itself. So when you receive the email with a link to the Excel workbook, it means you've received the email because you're reading this PDF solution or you are watching this video. So when you're opening the Excel file where it says click here, it might tell you that the author would want you to open a read-only version. Click no. The fact that it would ask that, it's just for protecting the integrity of the tool so that you can complete the Excel, but you can not change any of the information that's in there. So you can only complete open unprotected spaces. I would also recommend the moment that you open the file, immediately save it under your business name, SAEM, before you start to complete or before you start to read, so that you have a version that's already got the right name. Should you have any problems completing the Excel workbook, please feel free to contact me immediately. Now, the first page of the model of the tool that you will receive will give you the whole excellence model. You can see the green on the left-hand side is the enablers, and there are links to each of the enabler score sheets, which are the same as the score sheets here, E1 to E6. And then the results on the right-hand side are the results here with their points allocated and their weight. And on the right-hand side, you've also got them listed here, and they will give you a definition for that criterion. So if we say leadership, leadership will say how the behavior and actions of the board, executive management team, and other leaders inspire, support, and promote a culture of performance excellence. That is what we consider leadership. And so there's a definition for each criterion to set the scene. On how to complete, we will go through it in detail, but on how to complete it is a scoring guide provided. So we would say in completing the model, read through the model, the criterion and definition, the weight. Make sure you understand this page. Then read the scoring guideline here on the left-hand side for enablers and for results. Click on the link in the tab, so you can either just click on the link here and work your way through, or you can go back to the model and you can click on the link there to the leadership, and you can then either proceed next to there, or you can go back to the model and say, I want a policy is this, okay, I want to do this, and move on to that. So you can decide how you want to navigate to the different sheets. So you click on this sheet and select the score sheet. Score the 0 to 3, we will just go through it in a little bit detail just now. Motivate your score, which is very important. Remember, the higher the score, the more information is needed. Summarize each area for improvement. Complete and save each sheet before moving on. So the moment that you've completed the sheet, save again before you click the next tab, so you don't lose anything. You can return to the model and then select the next tab, or you can just click here at the bottom. When you got to R11, so you've completed everything, please ensure again that you're saved a version of the file under your business name, SAEM, and then you email it to me. Should you have any inquiries, you can contact me. So let's look at quickly the enabler criteria. When you score the enabler criteria, you must consider two aspects, namely the approach and the deployment. And you score, when you score a 0, 1, 2, 3. The approach is to determine the excellence of your business approach. And you should consider the following in that. Does your business use methods, tools, and techniques that are appropriate for your business? Does your business do things in a systematic way and prevent things from going wrong? Does your business review and challenge what is done in each area? Does your business implement good ideas to ensure continuous improvement in all areas of your business? Does your business integrate the above approach elements into everyday operations? So this is your approach to what you do. But it's not only the approach, it's also how it's deployed, how it's implemented that counts. So if we look here at deployment, the question is, determine the extent of deployment or implementation of the above approach actions throughout your business. So are the actions implemented vertically throughout all relevant levels of the business? Are the actions implemented horizontally through all relevant areas and activities in the business? And are the actions implemented in all relevant processes that are used in the business? I want to share quickly with you a slide just to show you the relationship between the approach and the deployment. So it's not the one or the other, they both work. So to move to performance excellence, you need to score on your approach, the way you do things, but also how deep and wide are they implemented. So it doesn't help to just do something very well in one department or one sub-department and it's not deployed across the business. That's what we call local optimization. It will not impact the system as a whole and therefore not improve your throughput in your business. Yeah, so how to score? Score should briefly record the evidence of what your business is doing in the box below each of the questions in the sheets E1 to E6. Use your personal notes that you've used in your preparation. Provide evidence that covers your excellence of approach and extent of deployment. So if I go here to this sheet, I've completed it already. The customer market focus, how your business determines needs, requirements, and expectations, enhances relationships, and determines satisfaction of customers and markets. And here you've got all the questions. I've completed them already here, and I scored myself. You can see I scored myself 2s and 3s in all of them, so it's all strings according to me, and therefore I've selected the top 3 that are the highest priority. I can still improve listening to customers. I can use my information better, and my management of customers' contact information could be better. So I've prioritized these 3 that needs to improve, those that I scored 2. So complete the information and then 0, 1, 2, or 3, whatever you score it. But whatever you score here should be motivated by information on that side. Then moving on to the results in the model, because you will remember we've got the enablers and the results are caused by how well we are doing on the enabler side. So when scoring the results, consider the results and the scope before you answer each question with a 0, or 1, 2, or 3. So for the results criteria, determine the excellence of your business results, you should consider the following. Does your business show positive trends or good continuous performance in each area? Does your business meet improvement targets? Does your business compare achievements with other businesses? Is there a negative trend? Does your business know why and take corrective action? Is your business able to maintain and further improve good performance in all areas? Does your business evaluate how the approach actions have caused the results? And then the second leg of it is the scope. So determine the scope of the business results in each criterion. You should consider the width and the depth of the actual achievements in your business. Does it cover all relevant areas in the business? Does it cover a full range of results in each area? Does it provide understanding why each result is important in the business? So again, here you would say in the results, Areas for improvement, not started, 0. Someone may have good ideas, but nothing has happened. Some progress is being made. Sorry, this is enabler criteria, results criteria. Yeah, just to show you the relationship between the results and the scope. Again, the same with approach. Earlier, it is the results and how wide and deep the results are. It's not about 1 or 2 little results here and there. So you score the sheets from results from 7 to 11. Use your notes. Make sure you provide evidence. Look for trends in the performance when you consider the following. Here you've got the results, you've got over time. Are the positive trends, the results are good or improving. Neutral trends, the results are not changing compared to targets. Negative trends, the results are not getting worse. And the criteria, again, similar to the enablers. Areas for improvement is not started. This is 0. Nothing has happened. There's no information about this at all. Some progress. You've started collecting data, but have not enough information to establish a trend. Do not have sufficient information. Your results are negative at this stage. It becomes a strength if you score a 2 or 3 based on evidence. You've got good progress, score of 2. The results are showing a positive trend on good continuous performance over a period of 12 to 24 months. You can see this is not the short-term approach. Fully achieved, you score 33. Your results are showing an excellent continuous positive trend over 24 to 48 month period. Although improvement is possible in this area, you are the role model for others. So congratulations. Your business is about to start on a journey towards continuous professional performance improvement and world-class performance excellence. Focus on what and how you address the enabler criteria and measure the results criteria, your achievements in the areas of both results and scope. Together, these criteria complement each other. So just going back, you remember I scored here. You can see my scores 3s and 2s, and I've had lots of strings. So I also went on and I scored the results part of customer satisfaction. Here it becomes a little bit more difficult because it asks for a lot of information. You know, do I have the numbers to substantiate my claims? So here I could only say, no, well, how do I measure the results that is impacting on my customers and markets? Is I can say, well, I compare customers who order, and we all do it. Customers order and we keep track on their orders, especially if they're repeat customers, and see whether there's a change in their order behavior through seasonal cycles and year on year. But I don't have a lot of else to show, so I'm only scoring a 1 year. And then does my business results support numbers that shows trends in relation to services and projects? And here's a whole list: accessibility, reliability, percentage of complaints, and so on and so on. I said we track waste by measuring gross profit and manufacturing margin, planned versus, so in other words, quote versus actual, the cost for each project. And that's the only thing that I really have on that to say how well we do. So some progress, but really not scoring high. And this is a high priority for both. It's an A that I need to improve. Now you can think for yourself, if my result is a 1 and a 1, I might not have been realistic about how well I'm doing at the enabler level and might have overestimated what I do here. And that is why it's important to always go back to the model and understand the relationship, the cause and effect. This enabler caused the results on this side. To end off, I just want to again just confirm you, when you completed the self-assessment, submit the completed assessment workbook by saving it under your business name and email it to me, carolfinder@iib.ws. Submission deadline is 17 May 2019. Please ensure that you submit timeously to be considered for the top 60 e-scan opportunity and possibly qualifying to further benefit from the Enterprise Development Support Project by the IDZ. And then lastly, you would ask what happens next. After the submission of your self-assessment, a team of experts will evaluate all submissions by moderating the scores and claims. We will generate score sheets and graphs. We will provide feedback to all the participants, indicating their score graphically against the maximum and the top 60 average for each of the criteria. The possible discrepancies we see between the enabler and results assessments, and the gaps for improvement. So important, as the assessors we reserve the option to verify any claims made and might require documents as proof. So we will do spot checks. Make sure when you make a claim that you can verify and substantiate that. From my side, on behalf of the SA Business Hub team, enjoy your journey of starting a culture of continuous improvement in your business. Should you have any questions, feel free to contact me on my email below.